stock market strategy video for Wednesday, February 10th. Well, got another volatile session in the markets yesterday. It's kind of like really where we are. We've been stuck in a 2 or 3 day range. We are at the lower end of the 5-day range, but nonetheless, we're still trying to figure out if a bottom is in. And I want to go over the VIX, and I want to go over the average true range with you. This is what we look for. I like to see the volatility come into play right around here, 37.40, right around this close. If we can get a big spike up, kind of hold around here, and then break lower, that's going to tell me that the bottom is in, at least tradable bottom is in, and the VIX is going to start moving lower again. Now, when that time happens, it's going to coincide nicely. As I mentioned last week, we usually have a seasonality build in crude oil. Crude oil went from a 32 handle, now a 28 handle. I think it goes even lower because of that build. We also have refineries that are closing down for maintenance. That's going to increase the build inventory. So when that happens, you'll have oil go lower, you'll have equities go lower, the VIX go higher. When that stalls and you see that peak build starts to diminish, then I think you're going to have a reversal in crude, equities, and of course the VIX, meaning VIX lower, equities higher, crude oil higher. So that's something that I want to be looking for and anticipate when that time comes. Of course, we need everything to be lined up in order for us to take trades like that, okay? In the meantime, we're just kind of waiting to see what happens, and I'm going to show that to you. You can see I don't think we have enough fear yet in the market to call a bottom. Here's the average true range. You could see how elevated it is. Now, it's telling me that there is fear in the markets, but not enough fear to just throw in a towel, to wipe out all the weak longs. Remember, there's a lot of traders, investors that are stuck up in these areas here, okay? This is the range, they're stuck. And every time the market gets into that 50-ish, 70-ish area, you'll have sellers come in and start selling that. They figured, you know what, I'd rather take a small loss here than take a loss here, okay? And that's what's happening, guys. That's why you're not having a very big bounce here. And that's a scary thing, because what happens is when you get a lot of people stuck on one side, you're going to have you will have that flush. It's only a matter of when. And I don't think we're there yet. I do think that we're oversold, and I do think that, we should be getting a little bit of a bounce. But I mentioned the bear flags flying, if you remember that video last week, right? That bear flag, sure enough, we broke down, and we tested near that low. That 182.25 was tested 2 days ago, almost tested yesterday. Okay, look at the trend line of lower lows and lower highs. Same thing here, okay? That tells me that we're still looking lower, okay? I don't care if the market's up today or tomorrow. I do think that we're going to try to test it, maybe gap fill here, and then shoot down one more time at one point, whether it be a slow grind. This is not telling me that buyers are giving up, that we're done. We want to see that. I want to see that flush in order for us to call some sort of a bottom, and that has not happened yet, okay? IWM Daily, this is the Russell 2000. As you can see, we've touched my 84.87, our support. This is now going to be resistance. I'll change that for tomorrow. And as you can see here, guys, just a real ugly looking chart. Now, this is a good gauge of risk for those of you who just signed up. When you have the Russell 2000 small caps rallying, the investors feel happy, they feel good, they want to buy risk, take on risk to get paid. When this is a risk off and you have the healthcare stocks, you have these consumer staples, you have the REITs and gold all rising, and utilities, that tells me that there is still fear out there, and investors are parking their money into these safe haven areas. And look at XLU. This is a big breakout, guys. This is a huge breakout. And what's happening? It's not going anywhere. It's actually just sitting there basing yet again for some sort of additional breakout. I mean, you could just see it here. Here's a side, nice little consolidation. I mean, does it go lower? Would I buy it up here? I personally wouldn't. I like to see, some sort of a higher low from this area here and then break out. But XLU utilities usually come into some seasonal weakness, and this is not the case. So this is telling me that, yes, there is fear, and that's why I'm looking for a bigger flush, okay? Let's take a look at the diamonds. As you can see, same thing, bear flag. We broke down. Here's going to be your next target is 150, 150.50 right here, okay? Take a look at the transportation sector. Now, the good thing about it is that the transports are doing really well the last couple of days. And that could just be because we could be an oversold condition where now we're looking to look to buy the transports. But this is a good sign. If the transports can at least gather some sort of a base here, Now, we're sort of in an uptrend channel or a bear flag, but I think this is just, I'm going to still call this a bear flag. Hasn't broken out yet. And then we'll see what happens here. But it is a decent sign that at least the transports have at least stopped going down. And lastly is the Qs. You can see here we broke support. Now it's going to be resistance. I'll change that as well. And you can see the next area is going to be that August 24th low, guys. And you can see this is just ugly looking chart. I mean, this is ugly. This is not a healthy chart here at all. And let me just grab that. And you can see that we're in a downtrend in an RSI, lower lows and lower highs. See that here. And this is not good. So we need to see some strength in our indicators. Not happening. When you have banks getting decimated, we get that the yields are lower, obviously hurting the banks. But banks and financials, and you have tech not rallying, not a good sign that we're going to rally. I do think that we get one more plunge, and that's going to be the cue. But I'll be monitoring it closely. In the meantime, cash is a position. Remember, guys, if you don't see anything you like and it doesn't fit your trade setup, step aside and let it go. You're better off being flat than being down 10, 12% that you got to make back before you even get whole, okay? Just keep that thought in mind. Make sure your stops are in place. Have a great day. We'll speak to you.